welcome to the Other Part podcast where we explore differences through conversation. Just a reminder that this program is not meant for minors and that we're just having a conversation here. We're not telling you how to live your life as only you can make that decision. On today's episode, we're going to be exploring the topic Make Me Feel Good. Make Me Feel Good is, in summary, what we all want and crave. And if you should fail to make me feel good, then you're just simply going to be deemed as unworthy, and then you're going to be treated less than a human being. The reason why I say this is that subconsciously, without realizing it, this is what we all do as human beings. This is why we treat that person much better than the others. For example, why is that particular person your best friend? No, do not tell me that you've grown up together or you share the same interests. No, don't tell me that you've grown up together. And don't tell me that you share the same interest either. Because by that, you can say that more than 50% of the people that you actually grew up with qualifies to be your best friend. And that's simply just not true. Some may say that they understand you, and therefore the friendship grew and it kept growing with time, and thus they then became your best friend. How about your boyfriend? How about your girlfriend? Your significant other? What is it about that person that makes them so special to be given that role in your life to be your significant other, your girlfriend, or your boyfriend? The answer may be similar to what you would have stated for your best friend. You would say that they listen to you, they genuinely care about you, they appreciate you, they support you emotionally, etc., 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 etc. But I say the short answer is that they're just good at making you feel good about yourself. It may sound like a selfish thing to say that the only reason as to why you've given anyone a role in your life is simply because they make you feel good. However, as human beings, we really are selfish and conceited. As much as we really don't want to admit that, we really are. Of course, there are others who really just are the perfect image of what conceited is and selfishness. But no, I'm definitely not saying that we are all alike. But let's go a bit further. What is the point of having a friend or a lover if they don't make you feel good? They'd just be another random person on the road, as if these persons made you feel uncomfortable or make you feel like crap. You're not going to want to have anything to do with them. And that is perfectly natural. After all, who wants to wake up to be told that they're ugly or that they think you have a horrible personality? I don't think anybody wants that. The persons that we want to interact with for our comfort or entertainment is for our own need to feel good and to be validated by somebody else. Even if you know that you are right about something, it still feels good to hear someone else saying it, therefore validating that you're not. We do enjoy that feeling of being right. It says, yes, I am awesome. Yes, I am smart. I am not a failure. I'm not stupid. And people are willing to acknowledge that I am not irrelevant. I'm sure by now there's quite a few of you who are probably disputing that you don't have an ounce of selfishness in you. But however, being selfish isn't always defined as you doing something that will benefit you while inconveniencing others, it can also mean that others will benefit from it, but it has ripple effects that are great for you too. So therefore, a win-win situation. However, what is selfish is that we often want and demand people to make us feel good, but yet we fail to question if we make them feel good. In friendship, when we feel insecure about wearing that item of clothing, we want our friend to say, "Oh my god, you look amazing. You look hot." Or whatever other statements of encouragement and support they can provide to help you overcome your insecurities about your body and your body image. Yet, when it is your friend's turn to get this type of support, what we say is, "Ew, that's what you're wearing? You look like crap." And we say this with a look of disgust on our face. To you, you're just being honest with your friend, or you're being blunt as you believe that they can do better, and you are being a true friend by telling them to their face in order to protect them. While you're aiming or attempting to protect them, what you just did is that you told them that they're stupid for buying that item of clothing and that they're too ugly and too fat to even consider wearing something like that. And that you think that they're delusional for ever thinking that they could possibly look good in something like that. Not to mention that they should be so grateful to have a friend just like you to basically rub their insecurities in their face, reminding them about how ugly and fat they are. And now you, as the best friend, is validating your friend's insecurities that they feel ugly. I'm not saying that you should lie to your friend and tell them that they don't look fat in that pair of jeans, but instead of reminding them of their insecurities are, especially seeing that you are their friend and you know what their insecurities are, perhaps it would work better if the conversation was more like you telling them how it can work. For example, "That's a great pair of jeans. I love that design. You would look so awesome wearing that with that crop top that you have, showing off your sexy shoulders." So here, what you're doing is that you're being supportive in telling them how it can work in a positive way that is flattering to their body, while reassuring them that they just didn't waste hundreds or thousands of dollars in buying something that they possibly cannot wear. Of course, this method is going to be subjective, as there definitely will be times where you really are going to need to tell your friend that they need to return that item of clothing. But at the same time, you're not going to be mean about it. You're not going to play on their insecurities. They already feel bad enough about the situation and they need comfort, reassurance, not to feel bad about what they did. All of this may seem like extra work and like you're buttering the person up, but it's a matter of perspective. If this person really has any value in your life, I think the least you can do is to help make their life more fun and less stressful by being a supportive person to them as they have done with you. Otherwise, one day you'll be having a conversation about you being overbearing or too negative for them. If this person really has any value in your life, I strongly suggest that you try to make them feel good, or else they'll really grow tired of you one day and find someone else to make them feel good. Another way to prove this is that when you're in a relationship, there are things that you rather discuss with your best friend versus your partner. That's simply because the best friend does it better. It's unfortunate, but it's true. The best friend is better at making you feel good than your own lover. So, your partner would be jumping up trying to find a solution or calling you out on the things that you have contributed to as to why things didn't work out well for you in this particular scenario. And you don't necessarily want that information in this moment. What you want is comfort. You want to be told that you're amazing. You want to be told that you were right and they were wrong, and that after we dry your tears, we are going to fight them to give you the justice that you deserve because you are such an amazing person, and how dare they do this to you? And unfortunately, this, ladies and gentlemen, is really what happens as to why our partners may get irritated or jealous of our best friends. As and say that why is it that we always go and consult our best friends when we have them? This is the reason, and oftentimes we really don't have a clue that's what's happening and we're unable to explain it. So, because we don't realize that this is what's happening, it then leads into arguments that may never end. Your partner is jealous of your best friend and now hates your best friend, and you're now stuck in a uncomfortable situation where you're somewhat being forced to choose between your best friend and your partner because your partner possibly believes that your best friend wants you, and etc etc. And yeah, when it's really nothing like that, it's just that the best friend is just really better at making you feel good emotionally. The funny thing is that with that scenario, the solution is just make them feel good. Make your lover feel good so that they don't need to run to their best friend every minute to ask them their opinion or to tell them about what happened to them today. If they feel good when they've finished telling you the story, they'll be more receptive to coming to you instead of the best friend. And then soon you would realize that they stopped going to the best friend as much as they used to, and they're now just telling you everything. And you no longer feel jealous or threatened by the best friend. So if you try this, you're going to be significantly surprised as to that's all that you really needed to do. Now that we know this, what do we do now? So, what do we do now? You now know what you are not getting from your friend or your partner. But how do you express this to them? They're probably going to rebut to say that they're just trying to help you by telling you the truth. But there is no foolproof way of answering this to say what is the best approach, because it really depends on both of your personalities and how they see things. Something that I've personally done whenever I'm in this situation is that I try to find an example where I played a supporting role in their life and tell them that I could have responded and saying, just go and do it. Stop whining and get it done already and stop bitching about it. But I couldn't do that because I know your history with that particular situation, and I can see why it would be difficult for you. And if I had done that, it would be like I'm kicking you while you're down by reminding you of something that you're trying to overcome. And at the same time, this method will only work only if they are actually willing to listen. If you are the only one that's willing to make this work and you're trying to communicate with them and it's just not working out, or they're shutting you down, then it's just not going to work out. You both need to be interested, willing to listen, and make adjustments for this to work. It's not going to be easy, but it's definitely worth it. Just because of the person that you're doing it for. We all want to feel good. And if you can't make us feel good, I promise you that we'll just simply find someone else to make us feel good. And if they have any value in your life at all, I don't think you're going to be exactly comfortable in knowing that someone else is making your boyfriend or girlfriend feel good, or someone else can make your best friend stop crying or feel better about themselves than you. I don't see that happening. In the moment where you can think, in the moment when all of this is happening, you can just pause and think about your response. Replay that answer in your head about 3 times and ask yourself, how would I feel if someone that I valued and cared for said that to me if I was in that situation? Or if you're gonna need some more time, you can just express to say that, hey, I really just wanna take a moment to really think about this properly before I respond to you. Can you give me a few? That would be awesome because it would make the person feel good, knowing that you are taking extra time and effort in your response, which is going to make them feel good, making them feel important, making them feel worthy, and all these lovely things just for them. Overall, we know what makes us feel good, but we are oblivious to the fact that we are not returning the favor. Then we complain that we are not getting the treatment that we want. You are literally getting what you paid for. So if you go to a place of business, or if you're dating someone or trying to date someone, but you're looking unkept, and when I say unkept, I mean you're not putting any effort into your appearance and you're giving attitude, then you're simply getting what you put out. Because you can't complain when they respond nice or super nice to the person that puts effort into their appearance, who talks kindly, put themselves together, not being overly rough, mean, or rude. Because remember, we are human beings. Yes, everybody should be treated equally or be given the equal opportunity, but we are human beings. Speaking from experience, when I'm at work, I am more willing to go the extra mile, to go beyond my call of duty for the customers who are nice versus the ones that come in and be like angry, rude, who's belittling me, being difficult, or demanding that I put the supervisor on. Um, those customers, they tend to get the bare minimum and that's it. Versus the customers, who are like super nice and understand that, hey, I'm just doing my job. They will get stuff that I don't necessarily need to do for them, that I shouldn't do for them, that I should like transfer them to somebody else or send them over to a different section entirely. But because they're so nice and I have the time, I just make it easier for them and just handle it all. While we're bearing that in mind, while we try to make people feel good, we do need to be careful not to end up being taken advantage of. So many people have fallen into this trap where they are giving so much of themselves. And in that moment when you are the one who's in need, all these persons that you've supported won't even offer you a helping hand, but instead kick you while you're down or turn their backs on you. Listen to your feeling. You feel what you feel for a reason. And with proper communication, these feelings can either be validated or cleared up so that you can move forward. Persons have been deemed as an opportunist or unworthy of your kindness. We should still strive to be kind to everyone. It's just that we are not going to make ourselves too available for the wrong people. Plus, you have nothing to lose simply by being kind to someone. You may actually inspire them to actually reflect on themselves and to have a change of heart and be a little less selfish. So let's make an effort to make the people in our lives feel good, to treat them how we want to be treated. So when they mess up, don't go hollering and making them feel worse. What's done is done. Focus on what is to be. That is, the mess has been made, the lesson has been learned, so we don't have to repeat it again. I'm not saying that we're just going to forgive and forget, but you can really communicate everything that you are feeling without hollering, cussing, and making the person feel much, much more terrible than they already do. So let's go out there and be kinder to each other. The world could really use a little bit more kindness right now. Thanks for listening. This has been Mr. Fox, and I'm looking forward to joining you with another conversation next time. And please remember, you can always follow us on social media. You can just type in Odda Part on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. And don't forget YouTube. So that is ODDAPART. See you next time.